top guy to top guy. I just want to know if in your analysis you believe these people are gonna cower, cave after we deliver what amounts to yet another warning.
Don't get paid to think.
Not true. Not true. I value your perspective, Dwight. We've been on both sides of the iron.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing the first sneak peek promo for Season 8 Episode 12 of The Walking Dead, The Key. With that being said, major warning is spoilers for everything in the show up to Episode 8-11, and let's jump right into this. So this sneak peek features a conversation between Dwight and Simon, and it actually gets pretty interesting as it teases Simon's mindset about this whole situation. So, let's give some context to this conversation. This is right after the Saviors coated up their weapons with zombie guts, and they are now on their way to attack the hilltop and scared them into falling in line. In my previous video, I broke down the initial promo trailer for episode 8-12, and in that trailer, Simon briefly mentions the plan, along with showing them preparing to leave the sanctuary. Alright, so without further delay, let's go ahead and discuss all the dialogue from this sneak peek. Simon starts out by asking Dwight man to man if he is confident that the plan to scare the hilltop will work. Simon has actually truly started to question how practical Negan's methods are at this point in the war. So, are they worth doing it, or are they a waste of time? Simon probably wants to know if anyone else at the sanctuary feels similar to him, or if they're all just obliviously brainwashed by Negan's orders. Simon is trying to see Dwight's opinion on the whole situation, but it's a funny, unintentional mind game as both of them are trying to not defy Negan in front of one another. Dwight, being the traitor that he is, obviously doesn't want to say something that'll sound like he doesn't agree with Negan's rules. Simon, being completely unaware of this, is just asking for Dwight's opinion. Dwight dodges the question by saying he doesn't get paid to think, but Simon takes it one step further to say that he does respect Dwight's opinion in order to try and get an answer out of him. Simon explains that he has doubts with this fear tactic working on Rick's group at this point, and Dwight almost traps him in a corner by asking if he would rather do things differently.
Well, if you're not going to answer, let me extemporaneously express that I have my doubts this little maneuver is going to deliver the desired outcome.
You think we should do it different?
No. No, not at all. This big man's plan will get it done, no question.
This causes Simon to take quite a large step back as he doesn't want Dwight going and telling Negan that he doesn't agree with Negan's methods, so Simon just completely backpedals for a moment and states that the big man's plan will work, no question. The sneak peek ends with Simon stating that the King, the Widow, and Rick just keep coming, and that no matter how many times they attempt to make them fall in line, they don't scare, and that's the name of the sneak peek too. So I wonder if Dwight will have any answer to this, or if he'll just stay silent. It'll probably be the best move for Dwight to just stay silent so he doesn't accidentally slip up and say something he shouldn't, but I really would enjoy more dialogue between these characters, especially in a time like this where Simon's character is being built up so much for the end of this season.
We've thrown a lot at Rick, the Widow, the King, and they just keep coming. Keep fighting. You've seen it. I've seen it. Tallying it up, I keep seeing the same answer. They don't scare.
I do agree with Simon here where he says that Rick's group doesn't scare, because they don't. Maggie, Rick, and all the other main characters like Rosita and Daryl are more confident than ever to take down the Saviors, and nothing will stop that mindset. Yes, it's possible for Negan to capture Rick and Maggie as that would stagger and scare the rest of the rebellion, but as long as Rick and Maggie are there leading, they will be the driving force behind convincing people to rise up. This is also why I'm so baffled why Simon didn't capture Maggie in episode 808 on the road, as their whole plan was to capture the King, the Widow, and Rick, but I have an entire video complaining about that one, so again I digress. You gotta remember though, this is all-out war. We aren't at the beginning of season 7, we aren't trying to make the communities work together. Ever since the beginning of this season, we've had a straight up war and we're still in the middle of one. It does baffle me that Negan still wants to make an attempt at instilling fear into Rick's group because they should know better by now than to assume that Rick will give up. At some points here in season 8B, Simon and Negan are almost acting that this is still march to war, but it's not. It's very interesting how things are finally starting to click in Simon's head where he's truly starting to believe that Rick's group will never stop. Simon is really starting to get the idea that these people will not buckle down under intimidation or fear, and that all of this is a waste of time. Simon does understand that Negan wants to keep people alive as a resource, but at this point in the war, they should just be fighting them instead of convincing them to work for them as if this is still the season 7 premiere. So now it's becoming more than clear how Simon is having his doubts that Negan's methods will work considering the situation they're in. This circles back to the conversation they had in episode 810, where Simon tells Negan that they should just scrape the scraps off the plate into the garbage and start fresh because Rick's group isn't learning the lesson that they're teaching no matter how many times they try to teach it. And now with the tension between Simon and Negan, due to Simon wiping out the whole junkyard group, it's only a matter of time before one of them bites the dust. Even in a hypothetical situation where Simon and Negan did win the war, I couldn't see a future where they both live alive simply because of the ways that Simon has defied Negan. Considering how strict Negan is, he would give Simon the iron or even Lucille as punishment for going against orders, but I'll save my breath as far as that goes in this video because I actually have a full video up on the channel already discussing if Negan will kill Simon as punishment for what he's done. It seems as though Simon is going rogue and defying Negan's wishes. Simon is taking matters into his own hands. Jesus Christ, does every character on this show need to go rogue at some point? I'm honestly getting sick and tired of creating video topics where blank character goes rogue, but I guess at least it feels a bit different in this situation because Simon isn't rebelling in the same sense as the Alexandrians or Dwight as far as being a traitor or anything or going against his group, but Simon is rebelling against Negan's wishes and ideals because he simply doesn't believe that it is a practical way to go about things in this current situation that they're in. So, what did you guys think about all of this? Will we get more dialogue between Dwight and Simon this episode? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Walking Dead Season 8 content in the near future. And if you'd like to take that extra step in helping support my videos, consider checking out my Patreon where there's a bunch of different rewards involving the channel, such as a chance to directly influence the videos being produced. It isn't necessary by any means, but it could really help in the long run. And as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out!